This is National Master Coach Bill giving a simultaneous chess.com with a time control of 45-45, just playing 5 games. Okay, so I'm going to have to decide how I want to play this. I'm going to try the Grand Prix reversed. Okay, now I've got to move on a couple other games. Okay, so here we have an English. Might go into 4 knights, we might not. C4, E5, knight C3. Let's see. It's my turn up here already. Okay, well, I'll just develop knight F6. Okay, now let's see. It looks like I have them all thinking. Nope, my turn here. Okay, so now I'm going to play G3, C4, knight F6, knight C3, G6, G3, and see which way this goes. Okay, let's see. This might move up here. Okay, Nimzovich defense. That's my turn over here. Okay, so bishop G2. So that's my turn here. So bishop B5. I'd throw knight D5 at him. Okay, let's see. Now knight C3. Okay, so now where to put this bishop? I could put it on C5 and have some pressure on this diagonal, or I can just slow play it. Now I can be castled in 2 moves. So this is the point where I start thinking long term. Now he's got some pressure on D5, but he's not doing anything with it. So here I'm going to play just a little position and slow play it with C6. Now I don't want to do that. The reason I want to do that is because of D4. So what I think I will play is bishop C5. And I've moved like knight A4. I will just bring it back to E7. So we'll go with this. Okay, let's see, my turn. Okay, so now bishop F5. Let me just back up a moment. In this position, white has 3 main lines. Take, knight C3, or what he did, push. So one of the keys now is I have access to this F5 square. You know, it's mine for now. And depending on how we go from here, we'll see what happens. Okay, so knight E3, so he's preparing a D4. But here I'll castle. And if he plays D4, you know, I can take, and throw a check at him and get him to step into a pin. Okay, so he doesn't do that. Let's see. So D4 is coming at some point. And, you know, I've now read a lot about the English opening. In some cases, you know, this bishop is misplaced according to International Master John Watson, who wrote a 4-volume set about 40 years ago. Yet in practice, I found it's often not a bad move, but it's up to me to prove otherwise. So what I need here is some development. So I could play knight C6, but which develops a piece. But I'm going to play D6 in case I want to drop the bishop back here. Now, you know, he takes time to win this bishop if that's what he really wants. He can have it, but there's going to be no trap here on my bishop. Okay. So let's get over here and comment. Okay, so now we're just going to go into a symmetrical English, it looks like. Okay, so now F5. Okay, so trying to do this. Okay, well, I'll take his bishop, I'll bite. I got the bishop pair. Just make a simple decision. Okay, now bishop goes to F8, so I castle. And he can play D5 or castle. Okay, so A3 is a mistake. It's designed to take this square away from the knight. But if you know how to play against the Nimzovich defense, this pawn belongs on c3. So now it's going to be thematically with e6. Okay, now it's my turn here. Okay, now it's not d4. Okay, now looks like it's my move down here. Okay, so now I'm going to play d3 to take the sting out of this move. Then my plan is to play g3, bishop g2, and get castled. And the game's still even. All the games are even. We just started. Okay. Okay. This will actually have everybody thinking. So it's good that they're taking their time. They take their time. Okay. So now, nope, I have a move here. Oh, you can't see it off screen on the video, but it shows me 5 windows of games underway and how much time's remaining and who's on the move. So now I right back here, now I continue as I said, g3. So you know, I wasted some time moving the knight around, but I did pick up the bishop there, and he ends up having to put his knight back. Well, he might have tried something like d4, knight plays d6, bishop g2. I'm going to check something on the settings. Okay, bring this up. I'll play. Let's see, auto switch game. Let's turn this on. Let's see what happens. Okay. Maybe make playing a little easier. Okay, so now here. Okay, now I got this line again. Now this is not correct. And usually the main line is a6 and queen d3 last round, but you know, I played a rook d1 tricky move. So here I'll just put the queen on d3 where it heads in most of the other variations. Is it auto switching moves? I don't know if I made any difference. Okay, so he castled. So I can play knight c6. One of the keys in this type of position is to shoot for f4. But at this point, it just gives up a pawn. So I'm going to play c6. And now with e5, that's the main line. One of the main lines. And now c4 is an error because now this pawn will be a backward pawn. So what I'm going to do is use the rule of exchanges by putting my knight on e7. If he takes, maybe I don't want this auto switch on after all. I might still want to comment on games when we take it off. I like it and I don't like it. I don't like it for making videos. Okay. So let's see, knight. This is an error. So here I can hand back the bishop pair and shatter his pawns. Where's this knight going? Up here, then where's he going? I'm just going to castle. Actually, what I ought to also do is put the bishop on g5. Let's see, the bishop g5 hits his queen. Let's do that. Okay. Okay, now, here that comes. Okay, now, got to put the bishop on b6. Let's see. I have to think. See, if I put the bishop on b6, he may very well take here and trade queen, so a lot of my attack is over before it even started. Am I okay with that? I guess I am. Let's see. The alternative is to take. He'll take. I bring this back. Then he has the f4 square. F4 square. So I'm going to put the bishop on b6. Then if I can consider dropping it back here. Okay. All right, now I've got to move over here. So here, my queen's under attack. Now the main line is bishop d2, and I take, and he takes, and I play e4, and he brings the knight to e5, and I take, and he takes, and then I put the bishop here, and we have an even game. And his e5 pawn can become a target. Okay. So, let's see, rook b8. Okay, he's trying to get b4 in at some point. I'm sorry, b5. I don't have this move, attacking it, and you just chop this off. Okay, so how do I make progress here? Let's go attack a pawn, bishop e3. In a lot of variations of English, the bishop does go with it. Symmetrical English, the bishop does go here. Okay. He just moved when I clicked. Okay, now he hasn't moved yet. He's taking his time. That's good. Okay, b6. Okay, now, one of my rules of thumb in these games is if you're not sure what to do, develop a piece. So, ideally, I want the rooks here and here. Which one to move first? Let me put this rook here because it gets it off this diagonal and affords a little extra protection. Move fast. You're moving too fast. Okay, it affords a little extra protection for the knight on c3 and frees my queen. He couldn't play bishop f5. That's the move he would like to have played. Because his pawn's in the way. Okay, so you're moving too fast. Okay. Now, my experience has shown that it's okay to trade the light squared bishops. So he's going to waste two moves to capture a piece that's moved once. So I'll just develop and let him trade. If I had a tactic, like taking his bishop and then going trying to fight a double attack, I don't see it. I can attack his rook on b7 with a queen e4 or queen d5, but I don't see a tactical follow-up. But this threatens to win a pawn on b7. Okay, so let's see. My turn over here. Black is moving too fast. Now he's shut his queen in. I mean, his queen has shut his bishop in. So here I just stop and castle. Okay, now let's come over here. It's my turn. And there it is. He did take. Okay, so now I have a good. So I'm putting a lot of pawns on light squares. I have a good position here. So I'll put another pawn on a light square, e3, so that I can move this knight up to d5 in the near future. Okay. So black has weakened the pawn structure a little bit on the queen side, and he's behind in development, so it's a slight clear advantage for white. Okay, so now knight f7. So where do I want the bishop? I can put it on e3 as the other game. It may get tempoed later by this. I can put it on d2 and restrict this knight. I put it on d2, which is safer there. Okay, now, let's see, it's my turn over here. So there's that c5 move, but see, white's behind in development here. And he's got no pieces developed. So the only danger I could, if I play b6, I'm piling up on his pawn chain. The only potential danger I can run into is if he creates a pin and a battery against it. So let's stop and consider that for a moment. So b6, bishop b5, pawn takes, queen a4. Now, suddenly I'm kind of pinned. So, let's see. I would have to play queen d7, and I have a little trouble breaking out of this pin. But b6 is the right move because he's got a little too frisky with his pawn. So I have another choice to undermine his pawn chain. I can play f6. Now if he takes, I take back, and I have a center pawn mass. And I also have a square for my king to run to break that pin. So f6, and I can make a weakling move like this because I'm ahead in development. Okay, now it seems my turn over here. So now I do have to take, you know, if here, okay, e4. We've seen this position already, our castles. Now, let's just put this bishop on c3 and have a good diagonal. Okay, this game's about even. It's a very slight advantage for me. So now, I don't necessarily want to put the knight on d5 in this position. Why? Well, the reason is I don't want to trade pieces. Now, you know, my bishop can't really get at his pawns. So one alternative is to play the bishop to g5, and the idea is that I'll take it. And when his bishop takes back, then I'll play knight to d5. And I do want to play e4 in this position. So what I'll do is I'll play bishop g5, and if he plays h6, I'll consider that a weakening move, and I'll drop the bishop back to d2. Okay, there's always a method of my madness. So rook e8, and I want to develop a little bit more. Is this something I should worry about? Probably not. So let's just, if I'm taking, I'm gonna leave this pawn a little weak. So I'm just gonna improve my position ever so slightly with b3. Okay, now where am I at? My turn here. Okay, queen c8. So didn't create a weakening move. So here I'll just play e4. Okay. Now black needs to find some way to get some counterplay and get pawn to d5 in. That's what black needs to do. Okay, let's see. So I've seen this position before many times. Okay, so now I'm going to mess up his pawn structure a little bit here. Okay. Let's see, my turn here, a5. Okay, so now I want to develop my queen. Get my rooks connected. It's a simple method of my madness. Okay. Let's see. Now my pawn is pinned, so I've done this maneuver many times, f3. I've had this pawn structure on the king side in these symmetrical maneuvers, so everything is solid. So I'm just playing safe. And from experience, I have to play quick. And now bishop e6. Okay, these guys are going too fast. Okay, so knight here. Now knight takes. And he needs to take back with the pawn. Okay, let's see. Rook e8. Okay, not a bad move. So we'll play rook c2 here. Another waiting move. It provides opportunities to double on the d file or the c file. Because I might change my mind and play this, and if it takes, I'm ready to be occupied on the c file. So just another waiting move. Sometimes move selection is relatively easy. Okay, so now the question is, do I want the knight on c6 or do I want it on e5? Either way, I'm putting two of his pawns under attack. I'll put it on. That's g6 takes a knight on g6 looks like the natural one, but he might have g4 in here. Although I have a bailout with bishop takes b1. c6 allows, let's see, knight c6 allows a pin, and then I steal his pawn. And if he takes, he does double my pawns. And then if, say, he attacks, I can't attack my bishop with his queen, get on the c file, because my bishop controls it. So I think this is the more accurate move, c6. Okay. So a5. So now I need to develop something. Let's go attack a pawn. Now, if I play bishop e6, he could play d5, but that's okay. Okay, so bishop e6. So I move over here. h6 doesn't help him. Okay, so now one of the problems that I have here is I don't have any open lines for my rooks. So there's also weakens this square. So one idea is to play knight here. No, I can't play d4. So I'm looking at d4, e4, where I put my knight. I put it on h5, h4. You can play d5. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remaneuver my knight to try to get to this square, d5. And the way I do that is I put the knight on e1. And then it goes to c2, and e3, and d5. And let black figure things out. Just maneuvering comes from experience. Okay, there goes the queens. Now this move doesn't really help him because I have f6. Okay, so d5. Let's see. That opens up the diagonal for this bishop. Gives me back this square. Suddenly this square looks a little weaker on b4. Let's see. Takes. My bishop's under attack. I'm just going to keep my bishop on the board here. Play bishop f7. And that could, and I've got the might have the c5 square coming up my way here. Keeps a little pressure on c4. And if he takes on c6, I take back with the pawn, and my weak pawn on d6 is hard for him to attack, at least right now. Okay, where do I have the least time? Up here. So this guy has spent 46 minutes on this position. I mean, no. He spent like eight and a half minutes because he's gained a minute and a half on his clock. So my bishop is under attack. I believe I can castle here and defend my bishop. So that's what I'll do. Let's go over here. So there's the weakening move. Now I was talking about coming to d2 earlier. I also see c1. But both of those get in the way of my rooks, although it does give my bishop an option to fianchetto, but do I really want to fianchetto? Now I can also take, and when he plays here, I can throw this in. But then there's no knight exchange, so I'm going to put it back on e3. Do with it. Okay, now 40 minutes here. e4. Now he's getting a little too aggressive here. I'm going to fight for the c5 square. With a5. Okay, now does my move anywhere? No, I got them all thinking. So I have 35 minutes in one game, 41. Now he went there, and c5 is mine. So, is he threatening anything I should worry about? Well, I want to develop this knight, but then I'm unprotecting this e6. So, one idea is to take here. And you could take with the knight. And I can swing around and get this thing, but now I got a bad beat on. We both have an outpost. He has b5 for his knight. I have c5 for my knight. Let's see. I don't want to do this. Pawn takes, pawn takes, pawn takes. He has 3 attackers on. He has 3 attackers on c6, and I have 1 defender. So if I play queen c1 or queen c8, and if he takes and I take, and he takes, my knight can take. So, oh, I have 3 defenders. Yeah, so let me miscount on my part. So, where do I want the queen? D7 or C8? If I go to C8, I do keep D7 available for my knight, or even the other knight for that matter. So I'm going to go queen C8 here. And like I said, I'm going to try to find a way, but white's okay here. I have another option to lock up the setter and then go for the kingside attack. So I'm just going to do that. Yeah, there we go. Come to decisions sometimes the hard way. Okay, now bishop e2, that's to be expected. Now there might be a check here, but that shouldn't be a problem. So I just developed this this knight. I've been in this position before, something very close. Okay, so now he played there, and let's see. I want to try to build up an attack, so play g6. Okay, tough maneuver game. So knight d5. But now, do I want to play knight d5 or not? Knight d5, knight takes. If I take with this pawn, rook c8, rook here, not really threatening anything. So let's get the rooks on this file first. There we go. Even game. Okay, so I was wondering about that. I didn't comment. He's fighting to. Let's see. So knight here. Let's see. Knight d7, pawn takes. There's that queen c8 move again. I don't know, let's see. I hate to bring his knight into the game. Let's see. His threat is to take this, and then I've got this square covered. Let's see. Pawn take, knight d7, pawn takes e4, g-pawn takes back. Then he takes on e5, or e5. Then my knight takes, and he steals this pawn, but I steal this pawn. So I'm not sure what to do to develop a piece. That's what I always say. Okay. So now a pin that I was talking about, but I'll just take this, right? I could play queen a4, but I have queen d7. Okay. So I turn over here. So this is kind of a bizarre move. So we continue with our plan of transferring the knight to d5. I don't have time to think. Okay, king h7, a little extra protection here. So now knight d5, knight takes. If pawn takes, he can still play rook here. So it's time to do something different here. So bishop here. Kid's holding on. I'm just assuming it's a kid because it's a kid in the Avatar Dark Knight from 2012. Was he born in 2012, 8 years old, baseball pitcher, outstanding. Okay, so let's see, rook here. Now we continue with the knight maneuver. Okay, queen d3. Okay, now he's protecting this square, keeping the queen vulnerable in case of a takes. So, queen e7, pawn takes, pawn takes, pawn takes, knight takes. I'm on his queen. So, her idea is, well, let's just do this right. Yeah, let's just develop the queen. I think that's the same. I was behind the development, now I'm catching up. Okay. And now we've got a weakness out of him. Okay, d5 is a huge hole and shut his bishop in. So I just, do I want it on f2 or g1 maybe? Is it in my way on e3? That's a good question. Let's put him on e3. Okay. Doesn't seem to matter much. Okay, so on b4. Now, he's close to falling for some tricks here. Bishop takes, king takes. Gotta check them out. You never know if they're sound until you try it. Queen check. Now, if he plays king here, like, you know, or pawn g3, I don't really have a queen check to follow up with. But what I'm looking at, let's just play simple, is just bishop d5. Attack his rook and then take his pawn. But the one potential drawback with that is that then this e-file is opened up. And, you know, he can transfer his rook over to e2, and I've got some pressure. You know, I'll be up 2 pawns. I could probably live with it. So, because of that, that's what I'm probably going to do. I'm ready to castle. No, I can't play bishop d4 because the knight's not protecting it. Okay, so this pawn is going to stay weak. I could play bishop here. It might not be a bad move. And if a4, I can play a6. And yeah, I'll just play safe here. This is a good diagonal. I do have attacking chances on the f-file. Okay, now what's happening in this game? So knight went to h6, so voila, I've got the knight into d5. And I'm playing this without really thinking. Okay, there's a check. I need to run. I've seen so much stuff similar to this you would not believe. Okay. Okay, so now I can gain a little time with attacking this queen. Let's see, pawn takes, knight takes, knight takes, queen takes, knight f6. This queen needs to move, and maybe I can push e4. Okay. A lot of arrows there. So, you know, I'm kind of using the arrows to show, but the idea is pawn takes e4, knight takes e4, knight takes, queen takes, knight f6. He has his wishes in there, I suppose, sometimes with this. But, you know, I don't care about the results. I'm trying to, you know, give instructional value. I don't have to play perfect chess. I just have to show you maneuvering ideas that you can learn from. Okay, so now this is a mistake because he lets me grab this nice outpost. Or actually, even does more. Let's see. I have to be careful though. So we can't just we can't just grab. There's that stupid touch move. That's what I was trying to avoid. You know, mouse slip. Okay, I'll live with it. But you know, I was looking, but I don't think I could grab the pawn because his knight moves and my queen doesn't seem to have a way out of there. So I just play queen f1. It's a mouse slip. I don't care. Okay, now knight there. Okay, now so knight takes. Okay. And then we chase the queen. And I think I can push e4 safely next turn. Okay, so what's happening over here? b6. Now that unprotects this knight, although the queen is protecting it. I've got a knight. I got some nice squares for my pieces, so it's a matter of finding a good move here. Let's see. Well, let's see. What's protecting this? Nothing. I can play queen g5. Now, if knight d4, I take. If I take, he takes. Now he's on this. Well, I'm not attacking f5. I forgot with this knight. See, I make tactical moves. Okay. Got to be very careful with these guys. Now, another idea here is pile up on this pin piece. And how I pin it? Well, I move my knight somewhere. Unfortunately, the knight doesn't have a safe square where he can attack that a second time. And I've just spent several moves getting it into d5. So, with all that in mind, let's just strengthen our position. One thing I can do is play for a d4 break here. And I'll go ahead and do that. Okay, what do I have the least time here? Okay, so now rook d7. Okay, h5. If bishop h3, I have here. It does leave my bishop unprotected. I mean, my pawn unprotected when I move my rook away. You know, this is a target. I want to work on it. This is a potential target, and he has a little trouble attacking it. Let's see. I want to do something along the lines of this, this, and this. Of course, that could leave this unprotected. So, my question is, do I want that bishop to be sitting there? Is it really bothering me that much? Now, one idea is to try a clearance move, but that allows this, and this remains a target. So I'm going to play the rook here and let him think about, no, let's see. There's no bishop. His bishop can't get to g5 to pin my knight. Okay, I'm just going to centralize this rook. All right. Now, I got plenty of time in my games. Okay, so castles. And now I will castle. And this pawn is under attack, although I don't need it. And this now becomes a potential threat. Okay, now it's my turn. Okay, rook up there. So let's go for d4. He has this, but then I have f3 chipping away at the center. Okay, my turn over here. So now, let's see. He has one attacker. I have two defenders. So maybe I don't push. Maybe I play this. Let's see, I don't know, work there, there's some tactics. I'll just, I don't know, let's see. He's close to getting the better game here. See, what I'm envisioning is some problems down here in the long run. Okay, rook here. Pawn takes, queen takes, rook takes, bishop here. But that lets me get the rook here, and I work on this guy. So, which rook to put there? I think this rook. Okay. If I had more time, I could go into more analysis and deeper. So now, c6. Now I have to watch out for if he tries to somehow set up c4, or walk into a pin and mess this whole thing up. So he's not really attacking this, but he will be. Now let's see, here, f6 takes away bishop e5 check, so c6 it is. I know I ran into some trouble with this, where, oh, I'm hanging this. Okay, well, like I said, I just play these things and go from there. Okay, he's got a square first knight, but that's okay. Oops, don't change the data here. Let's see. So here he took. That's fine with me. I will take. Okay, so now see, I blundered this guy. But no, I'm on this. No, okay. I got play here. Rook takes. Okay, so we'll have to suddenly resign this one. I'm vulnerable in these things. Okay, he takes and I take, and I got to work on the 7th rank. Now he gets this, but he's got to be careful. You know, my pieces are getting active here. I'm going to go to e5 next, and then check on d4. So I'm getting lucky. This was not planned, okay? Sometimes chess works that way. You don't see something, and things pop into life. Okay, so that's my turn over here. So knight to e6. Now he's eyeballing this square. The counterpart, I may just take it if he does that. Because my knight stays permanently attached to there. So the queen didn't belong on f1. So let's just put it back on d3 and see what he wants to do. Okay. Queen e7. Oh, that's a blunder. That gives up your queen. Sorry. I make mistakes too. Okay. I'm not a good blitz player. That's what I'm having to do here. Play blitz chess. In fact, 5 boards of 45 gives me like 9 minutes with a 9-second increment every move. That's blitz chess. That's his turn. So there's another free piece. I'll take it. He should have taken with the knight. Okay, now what's happening here? Dark knight. Okay, he took. So I take him with the c5. So I'm just going to, I can take, and I have a beautiful knight on d5 that he can't get rid of. And I try to attack his king position. Let's just try that. Okay. I mean, I love good knights against bad bishops. It rids him of a weakness on d6, though. But I love to play positions with good knights versus bad bishops. Okay, king h1. So, he's losing something here. Let's see, bishop d4, bishop takes, because he doesn't have rook a2 because this guy falls. So I wanted to see that earlier on, starting on those lines. Why not? Because I don't play fast chess. I can play knight d4. Attacks his bishop, pretty much forces him to play bishop d3. then, let's see, get rid of those arrows to find a safe place to touch so I don't pre-move. Okay. So now, let's see. Knight d4, bishop d3. Now if I just take his e5 pawn that's sitting there, I'm still threatening. I'm not threatening bishop d4 anymore, but I'm picking up another pawn. So I'll just take the other pawn. It wasn't going anywhere. Okay, so now bishop there. Now it's going to get a check in down here. So we go after his e5 pawn. Wait a minute. Nah, see, here's the chink in the armor. There's this check, and let's see, the king has to go in the corner, and he's ready for c4. So we put a little positionally here. We play b5 and restrain that. Now you could play. The problem with this move b5 is it allows bishop a5. Dropping the exchange. So I knew I've had some trouble with this before, and I can't remember all the lines. So with all that in mind, let's see. He's getting c4 in. Shoot, now I got to figure this one out. Okay. I can take down here. No, I can't take down there. I drop this. One thing I can do is play f5. He takes some. No, I can't do this. c4 is coming. Do I have to give up the exchange here? I can play knight here. Yeah, this is the best move. Okay, now where am I at for least time? Right over here. So what did he took with that pawn? So now this is why I want pawns on my pawns on my squares. This bishop can only attack two of them if he can get there. So this weakens my dark squares a little bit, but it also, by playing g4, but also sets up some ways to expose his king. Kind of puts a damper on this. Okay, good at chess. And then there's a check here. Over here. So we went there. Now we go tempo his rook. Okay. He's winning some pawns here, but he's running into some trouble, down his king side here. He's running into a lot of trouble. Okay, so let's see, not good at chess. Thanks for the rook. Okay. Okay, so now we got a big material advantage. Let's play for mate. This looks like it's going to lead to a quick mate. He has to block with its knight. I'm going to take with the bishop. Let's see, I can take with the queen and force him out here. Just take have a dark square bishop. Okay, notice that my move anywhere is right here. Okay, so now we throw a check at him. Now for king h1, I have rook e1 check. With king e2, that moves like rook c4, and I'm winning some nasty discovered checks. E1. Okay, thank you for the game. You played that well to a point. Analyze it like crazy. See what you did wrong, and be sure to check my video. Okay, so now there's this king. So now we bring the bishop here with check, and after king here, I get to make a move like king here, and he can't stop mate. He has a check. Well, that check won't get him far. See here. Oh no, yeah, I'll have d5. Okay, so king here, and the threat is one pawn or the other mates, and I'll answer this check with this. So one down, 4 to go. This one's about over, and I can think more. Okay, so we want the d file here. I have to watch out that he doesn't suddenly come swarming in on me. Rook d2, let's go to d1, let's put it on a white square. Rook to d1 plans knight f6 check. Although, to some degree, that's a little fishy. I'm going to do it. Okay, not good at chess, so now mate. Okay, 2 down. You move too fast. You know, you spent 30 minutes on this game. No, 28 minutes for 30 moves, under 1 minute a move. We had 1.875 minutes a move. Okay, so 3 games left. Where's it my turn? It's not my turn here. It's not my turn here. And it's not my turn here, so I'm down to 3 games. And we're going 52 minutes. So I'm ahead 2 pawns here. Yeah, 2 pawns. Now majority of center pawns. I'm ahead in development. And none of his queenside, move 13, none of his queenside pieces have moved. Okay, looks like it's my turn over here somewhere. Okay, so now he dropped the exchange. So knight f6 check, bishop takes, queen takes, rook takes, and I'm up the exchange. And he would love to get his bishop to d4. So knight f6 check. And, I don't expect to win like this against high-rated players. You know, he's 12-24, but he's learning. He's playing well. You know, made a few little positional errors. So, I'm not going to pre-move it because he might just move his king. Then I only have 1 piece out of it. Or rook. So we'll just wait. Okay. He took, I take here. And I take here. Okay. So 3 games. So what's going to happen is the black rook is going to vanish. Okay, I turn over here. So he does play that. And now I get, maybe that's a mistake. Because if he takes my bishop, I take his bishop. If he moves his bishop, I might just find a way out of this. I've got blocking moves and check. Let's see. Counterattacks. Taking away the sting of this. I'm in a pin, but there might just be a trick in here for me. It's up to me to find it. Um, let's see. What did I win? I'm up one pawn. I can drop a piece, but I get another one pawn back. So I'm gonna come back. What do I have on top? 26 minutes. I'll come back here. Okay, so king here. Now I don't want to take this because he gets the file. So what I do is I just slow play it and play rook here, and I keep the file. Okay. Here, h3. That doesn't help him. So now. I can win a pawn, another pawn, takes, and takes. Well, what's the point? Let's go for his king. Okay, queen here. And then I have the idea of this. I have the idea of this. Okay, let's see. Dark knight moved. Okay, now we take the pawn. And he can't stop this unless he wants to trade rooks. Come here, and he's finding a way to get the bishop to d4, but too little, too late. Because I got my rooks in the game. Okay, giving this one up. Thank you very much for the game. You played that well. Okay, so 2 games left. Let me see. Coach Kip. Okay, I have to move here. This is the one I'm in trouble in. It's always at least one I'm in trouble in. Knight d3 check. I take c4, gets me a second pawn. I say if I take c4 check, well, that's not a check. Bishop takes c4, he takes on d8, I take on d8, he takes on d8, I'm down rook. Although, so, I ran into this, I lost the game the exact same way. There is some evidence to the statement that you tend to play chess the same way from one game to the other. I've had many games where even out of different openings I've come in and gone through the same styles. So I have moves like rook c8, and I have moves like knight takes c4. And that gives me the second pawn. Let's see. C8, pawn takes bishop. Pawn takes pawn, check. King to b1. So let's see, rook here. Pawn takes, check. King b1. This is loose and about to get lost. I've been working at stuff trying to get things like this in. Pawn takes. C5 doesn't cut the mustard, or does it? C5. Bishop takes, rook c8. Now he just plays rook takes d5. Let's see. Look at this game real quick. Okay, he's running out of time. 15 minutes. Okay. So, let me sort this out. Knight takes. Knight d3 check is an interesting move because it breaks the pin. But then my bishop stays under attack. So I move. Now maybe I attack this. Now I've got both his bishops under attack. He has one of mine under attack. We can't take this with the rook. So if he takes this, if I take that, I'm still a piece down. But because he's, yeah, that's a good idea. Right? To get rid of these guys before they have a mouse. Knight d3 check. Bishop takes. c5. Then he has bishop takes e4. And the pin is alive again. So we'll see what to do here. I got 20 minutes to figure something out or call it a day. I mean, like I said, I can get 2 pawns for the piece, but he has those 2 bishops. They're just killer. Let's see. Bishop taking. There's no good move here. Rook here, takes, takes. Puts him in check. King b1. He's crawling all over this. It's not being not even protected. Bishop takes. Rook takes. Here's an idea. Let's see. I saw looking at this with rook takes. King here. Now he has to move his rook somewhere. And I'm on his rook. I'm on its bishop. But he just brings the rook back to d2. And I'm down a rook. But I have a resource. Here it is. Let's see how this goes. Okay. You just bought the resource. The worst happens, I'm losing. So now this f-pawn is pinned. So bishop takes, pawn takes, queen check, king here, queen check, king here. Knight there wins the queen, at least. So there we go. Bishop takes. That's why you don't want to push your rook pawns. Okay. He's down to 12 minutes there. I have 33 minutes here. Well, with some luck, I'll steal his bishop and be down the exchange, which is better than being down a piece, huh? Okay. This will be the only game shortly. Sometimes you just have to fight. Okay, so this was expected. Now, I'm down a rook, but I'm on this guy. And now I take this. So here's my resource. I'm getting something for it. Sometimes you just have to play defense. Now, white is still theoretically winning, but you know it's harder to win up an exchange where the opponent has to call in compensation than it is to win a piece ahead. So, there we go. There we have it. So I wish the other game would end. These 11 minutes to the side. Okay, so let's see. Now my threat here is also to play Queen G3 or knight check here. And if pawn takes, then I have mate. So I got all kinds of threats here. Okay, let's put right over here. So now knight takes. And I have one pawn compensation for the exchange. How about that? Now he's on my knight. He's threatening the 7th rank, so I just put this here. And now I try to set up a blockade that he can't crack. Okay. He's not getting rid of that knight on d5. And he's not attacking this pawn easily. So, interesting comeback on my part. Well, this game could go for a long time now. That's the only game. I have, what, 23 minutes plus the increment? So you can play rook h4, h6, rook g4. I can play g6, rook h4 again, h5. Okay. So, the other game still has 8 minutes left. Not any kind of time pressure, really. Of course, if he moves his B pawn, he'll lose because I have knight c3 check. Now, he guarded his A pawn with his king. That might not have been the best plan because, in theory, if I took it, my knight goes out of play, and I can play moves like rook a5 or rook a4, forking it and trapping it. So I don't know. It's just stuff there to analyze. It's not what I'm talking about. Let's go to this position. It plays in check. If he comes out here, knight takes, rook takes, and I take this. Now the rook comes over here, and my knight is trapped. It has no way out. And his king is a little more centralized. Although I'm still going to bring the knight back to d5. Okay. So my turn over here. Now check. Now I'm going to check here. So white is almost checkmated here. Okay, my turn over here. We did play that, so h6. Check here. Okay, now I'll slip this one. Okay, now I'm threatening mate in 1. Okay, so there's a threat of mate in 1 on the board with the arrow. You can play bishop e3 to slow down the mate, but still made it anyways. Rook g3 check, pawn takes, queen takes, pawn check. Yeah, I'm still gonna mate it. I think it's pretty sure it's a forced mate here, real quick. My turn over here. Okay, he did play this. Okay, now if he comes back, I play h5. He can try to bust open my pawns, but he runs into trouble as he starts weakening his pawns. Okay, I'm not sure if that's the correct idea. So let's stop and think about this a second. He's going to threaten this. So let's chase his guy here and then centralize my king. Okay, over here it's my turn. So rook check, pawn takes, bishop check, king f2, queen check. Let's see. Let me get rid of these arrows. I do not need a mouse slip here. Okay, rook check. He has to take. Queen check. That's not necessary. Queen check's not necessary. Bishop check is what's good. Now he has to block with his rook. Now queen check. The other alternative is to take on e3 with my bishop. Bishop takes, pawn takes, yeah, and then rook takes mate. So this is probably the simplest, quickest mate. Bishop takes e3. Although it's interesting about this position. This move and this move also win. So I'll just take this. No, wait. There's a little problem here. Okay, didn't see that. Before I move. Okay, so rook g3 and rook takes e3 both win. Rook g3 check forces pawn takes. And bishop takes pawn check forces rook f2. Then I have queen g3 check. I like this one better. I'll check here anyway. Okay. Or is that mate? No, he resigned. Okay. All right. The last game, my turn here. All right, so the only drawback I have is if I have to weaken my queenside pawns, but I have a pawn majority over there. So I've been in these types of positions before. I've had rook versus knight, where my opponent had two pawns, and the rook outduels the knight. So in theory, this is probably lost. But it's a nuisance. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to activate my king. Now, if I activate the king, rook over here, pawn up, and I don't like my pawn structure. I like my king position, but I don't like my pawn structure. Rook back with the idea of putting the rook here. I can't be passive. I'm going to walk for about three minutes. I will be right back. I need to stretch my legs. Okay, I'm back, so let's see. He's going to try to get an outside pass pawn. I don't want to play king e5 because rook e4 check. What I can play here that's interesting is f5. Now if g4, I might be able to play. let's see. I might stop this video and start a new one with a conclusion. I'm going to debate that in the next few minutes. Let's see. F5. See, his idea is to come here and take and give me a weak pawn here. Although it's not the easiest he can attack it, but he could, swing around and come in from behind. So let's see. F5, G4. Pawn takes, pawn takes. Pawn takes, rook takes. I put the knight here. Yeah, that seems to be the best. Okay, F5. Last game. Now I did weaken G6. So, but I kept his rook out of E4 at least this turn. His rook could still try to maneuver around, but then, suddenly his pawns become a little weak, and my knight could get in there and wreak a little havoc. If I liquidate the queenside pawns, white is very hard pressed to get a draw. Okay, I mean not to get a draw, to win. I'm so dyslexic, but that's what makes me fun. Okay, so this game unfortunately will go a long time, so I'm going to stop the video so that the first one is short, and then start another one.